Hey guys, it is Thursday, July 9th, and if you're watching, you're here to watch some spoiler-free comic reviews, whoa, or you accidentally stumbled on the wrong place, in which case I hope you find this interesting, or maybe you'll find a different video interesting in your YouTube travels, and I wish you well. Anyway, for those of you who actually are where you wish to be, hi and welcome. For those of you who haven't been here, also welcome, I guess. I don't know. Welcome to you all. It's too hot for me to think properly. I would have had this video up yesterday, except for I was moving a couch at the time, and then today I was hanging out with some friends, so I'm going to be rushing through it a little bit more just because there was a lot that came out, and I haven't actually had a chance to finish a lot of it. There's a ton of number ones that I'm just going to talk about without actually having read them. Just be like, hey, these are things that are out to keep an eye out for. But let's dive into the ones I did get a chance to read because they had the trifecta week, which is, we've got Saga, Batman, and Walking Dead. Pretty great first three reads. Saga, this is the end of the arc. And it's amazing, and as you expect from the end of a Saga arc, that means that we are going to start, as they call, the Vacationanza, which is their, 6-month hiatus, which is cool. It hurts my heart every month that goes by and there's no Saga, but it does give them a chance to, keep up with their story and keep putting out the best story that they possibly can, and they usually do, at least so far, between the arcs, it doesn't usually pick up right where the arc left off, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when the Vacationanza has been concluded and Saga is back. But I love that book. Then we have up another end of an arc. This is Walking Dead number 144, the gross issue. It's not what it's called, that's what I call it, because that's what 144 is. So this is not just the end of the arc, this is the end of the next compendium. So people who are reading this compendium to compendium have waited 4 years to know what's going to happen in these books. And with the cliffhanger and the craziness that happens at the end of this, I do not envy them the next 4 years not knowing what's going to happen, because this is ridiculous and insane, and this is an issue of The Walking Dead that has made me react in a way that I have not reacted in quite a while, and hell of a good one. Then we have up number 42 of Batman, as some people are calling it, the Chappie Batman, or Bunny Batman, as I like to call him, Robo Bunny Batman. So it's not a spoiler, it's all over the internet and the news. Batman is no longer Bruce Wayne. We've got a different one. We've got a Jim Gordon Batman who is working with the police. He is a badged Batman who has to work within the constraints of the laws they're setting up for a police Batman, I guess. But for those of you who are like, I don't care about Chappie Batman, or I don't care about Jim Gordon Batman, don't lose hope. Batman's been dead before. Bruce Wayne has been dead before. And there was a different Batman for a while. Dick Grayson was a great Batman. It was awesome. It was a great run. Batman and Robin, they're fantastic. I have them too high up for me to reach, but he's been dead before. Maybe we'll see Bruce back. Otherwise, it's a real ballsy move on their part. But it's very different. And I'm interested to see what comes up next. And so the one number one I did read this one week is one I've been excited for a very long time. And if you guys are like-minded, you will also go hee when you see this. It's Invader Zim number 1, yee! So this is, it's written by Jhonen Vasquez, the creator of Invader Zim. It's drawn by Aaron Alexovich, but it's fantastic. So for those of you who have watched the show, you're going to love this. If you haven't watched the show, you can still totally jump into this and enjoy it for a ridiculously fantastic, absurd, charming comic. And the great thing is, I love this show. I love everything about this show. And it's done so well, and it's so true to what it should be, that as I was reading it, I was hearing Gur in my head, I was hearing Dib and Zim, and it's what it should be. And it's been a while since we've had any Invader Zim, and I'm really happy that they are putting it out, and happens after the series, so it is a great jumping on point for those of you who have been waiting, or have never heard of this, or just kind of think that this guy's tongue looks crazy and this little doggy looks like a fun guy to to read a comic about. Because it is. It's great. It's absurd. And I love it. And I'm really ridiculous tonight. Then we have Descender number 5. This is a book that you guys know I have been loving. And it does not let up. Every issue is another ridiculously crazy issue where a lot is going on. And they're only 5 issues in, and they're already putting out some pretty heavy stuff. So we're getting to the end of the arc soon, I believe. And it's very beautiful. It's a very unique, gorgeously rendered world, and I guess rendered isn't the right word. That reminds me more of video games, but it is a beautiful book, and it's got a really good story to tell, and the plot keeps thickening. Oh, so this last one here it's the end of a story, and I will tell you that this book, Big Man Plans, is awesome. But it is not for the faint of heart, or the queasy of heart, or the fluttery of heart, or the people who don't like very, very visually descriptive, violent, imaginative violent scenes. Because it's a revenge comic. This guy, I mean, there's a reason behind it, which we find in this issue here. We see what all these big man plans are, why this has been happening, but it is 4 issues of violent, ridiculous revenge, and it's beautiful. A little too beautiful. There was one point where I was like, oh my god, because it was so visually startling and overwhelming, and I am a little bit of a wimp, but it's great. But just don't give it to your parents or your grandma or your little brother, and don't read it if that doesn't seem like something that you're into. But if it is, it's awesome. If that sounds like something that'll float your boat, that's a boat worth floating, and I loved it. And it's Eric Powell doing the art, so what's not to love? Then we have up, this is actually the last one that I've had a chance to read this week, Shudder number 13, beginning of a new arc. And my fiance was telling me that it's like every arc of Shudder is totally different. They're exploring a totally new idea, and this world is so vast and unique, and it's our world mixed with fantasy creatures, that they really have free reign to just do whatever. And this arc is already going to be really crazy, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's a very unique premise and a very unique world, and I'm really enjoying it. And the end of this issue, I was like, what? So we'll see. So there's a ton of number 1s out this week, not just Invader Zim, but ones I have not had a chance to read yet. This is from Mark Waid and J.G. Jones. This is Strange Fruit. It takes place in the 1920s South. There is some racism built in there, as it was, along with the time period. But apparently there's a sci-fi twist. So I'm really stoked to read this, and the art is so beautiful. Just, it doesn't even matter, just flipping through, just the cars, and there's this little doggy. It is so beautiful, and his facial expressions are spot on. And this is a thing that some of you know that I'm really into, really nerdy about. The cover is thick. This is a beautifully produced book, and it's only 4 issues, so it's great. Go Boom Studios, happy days. And then one that we've been hearing about for a while with the controversial Kickstarter and whatnot, this one was not going to be a part of it, but we have the all-new Archie. This is with Mark Waid, as was this last one, and Fiona Staples, our one and only Saga artist, is doing a new iteration of Archie. This is the Archie reboot. This is the Archie for the new generation. I haven't read it yet, and there's a bunch of different covers. There's a Zdarsky cover and a bunch of others. That's the only one I can remember. But I'm looking forward to it. And then we have, from Black Mask Comics, this is this one called Transference by Michael Morrissey and Ron Salas. Transference here. I actually haven't read much from Black Mask, but apparently they've been doing really, really well, and their stuff is constantly getting really good reviews, and it is a publisher to watch out for. So definitely, there's a couple of new indie publishers that are starting up. There's one I can't remember the name of that is getting like Grant Morrison and a bunch of other really crazy people on board with it, which is really cool. But this is a publisher to watch for, and people beyond Image and Boom and Dark Horse and put out really good stuff, so check it out. And then there's this other #1, which I haven't looked at yet, which is Grant Morrison's 18 Days #1. So, if I get a chance to breathe later on this week, I'll dig through them and see what's up. So, that's it for me this week. I would read a little bit more and get into it a little bit more, but I'm tired and I have a pinched nerve and I'm just a little lazy right now. So, I hope you guys have a great week, and this is hitting movie season. We have Ant-Man coming out in theaters real soon, but right now I'm in a lull for TV and I don't know what to watch. I don't have cable, but I have Hulu and Netflix, and I'm borrowing some HBO Go and Amazon. So if anyone has any cool show ideas for me, let me know. I'm finishing Orange is the New Black now, but I was in a period where I was watching stuff like almost every night and I had a lot going on. And I've got reading, so I'm not complaining. But if anyone knows of really good shows that I haven't maybe checked out, let me know. Because I'm usually the last to hear about these things. Anyway, that's it for me. Have a good night, guys.